Imagine life as a massive chessboard. Most people spend their entire lives moving like pawns, one square at a time, obeying the same rules, following the same path, and waiting for someone else to decide their next move. They work hard, save a little, and hope life eventually rewards them. But then there are the few, the ones who learn to play like the queen. They move freely, create opportunities, and change the direction of the game itself. That, in essence, is the difference between the mindset of the poor dad and the rich dad. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad. Poor Dad is far more than a book about money. It's a book about mindset, psychology, and the invisible forces that separate financial freedom from financial struggle. It teaches that wealth isn't built in your wallet. It's built in your mind. Robert grew up with two father figures. His real father, the poor dad, was intelligent, educated, and hardworking, but financially limited. He believed in getting good grades, finding a stable job, and climbing the career ladder. He thought security was success. Then there was his best friend's father, the rich dad. He wasn't formally educated, but he was wise in the ways of money. He built businesses, made investments, and understood how to make money work for him. Through the lessons of these two men, Robert learned one of life's greatest truths. It's not how much money you earn that matters, but how you think about money and what you do with it. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Poor dad used to say, go to school, get good grades, and find a secure job. Rich dad said, jobs are temporary. Learn how to create money instead of chasing it. Here's the difference. Most people work for money, while the rich make money work for them. Poor dad saw money as the end goal. Rich dad saw it as a tool, a servant that should be trained to serve you. Think of money like a dog. If you chase it, it runs. But if you learn to attract it, with value, ideas, and assets, it comes to you naturally. The rich understand that working harder doesn't automatically lead to wealth. Working smarter does. They focus on building systems that generate income, even while they sleep. Lesson 2. Financial literacy is more valuable than a degree. In school, we're taught math, science, and history, but not how money works. Poor dad had academic intelligence. Rich dad had financial intelligence. The difference? Financial literacy is understanding the game of assets and liabilities. Rich dad explained it simply. Assets put money into your pocket. Liabilities take it out. Most people make the mistake of thinking their home or car is an asset. But unless those things generate cash flow, they're actually liabilities. The rich focus on collecting income-producing assets, like businesses, real estate, and investments. Wealth is not built through income. It's built through ownership. The financially intelligent ask, how can this money grow? How can it buy something that pays me back every month? The poor and middle class often work for their money and then spend it on liabilities that keep them broke. The rich, on the other hand, use money to buy freedom. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. Poor dad's life revolved around his job. He believed the company he worked for would take care of him. But rich dad taught Robert a critical truth. Never depend on one source of income that someone else controls. Rich dad said, don't just work for someone else's dream. Use your job to learn, but use your income to build your own. Your business isn't your employer. It's the set of investments, assets, and ventures you own that generate passive income. While others spend their lives building someone else's empire, the rich quietly build their own financial foundation. Lesson 4. The rich understand the power of taxes and corporations. Here's something schools never teach. The tax system rewards those who understand it. The poor and middle class earn money, get taxed first, and then spend what's left. The rich earn through businesses and corporations. They spend first and then get taxed last. Rich dad explained that corporations are like invisible armor. They can protect money, reduce taxes, and multiply income through strategic investments. The rich don't just earn differently. They play by a different set of rules because they know the game better. The takeaway? Don't just earn more. Learn more, especially about how money flows through the system. Once you understand the rules, you can start playing to win. Lesson 5. Failure is the real tuition for success. Poor Dad feared failure. He saw mistakes as proof of weakness. Rich Dad saw failure as the cost of education. He told Robert, "Every failure teaches you something no classroom ever could. The only real failure is not trying." Most people avoid risk because they fear loss. But every financially successful person has lost something: money, time, comfort, or reputation. What separates them is that they learn and adapt. In the world of money, fear keeps people poor. Courage creates wealth. Each time you overcome a setback, you build mental resilience, and that's worth more than any paycheck. Lesson 6. Work to learn, not just to earn. Rich Dad always said, "Don't ask how much a job pays. Ask what skills it teaches." Every successful entrepreneur or investor started with a foundation of skills: sales, communication, leadership, marketing, and investing. These are the invisible currencies that lead to visible wealth. When you focus on learning rather than earning, you start building a toolbox that compounds in value. The paycheck might stop one day, but your skills never do. Every job, even a small one, is an opportunity to sharpen a skill that could make you wealthy later. Lesson 7. The psychology of money. Rich Dad also understood something most people ignore. Money is emotional. Poor Dad worked from fear: fear of losing his job, fear of not having enough, fear of disappointing others. Rich Dad worked from confidence and curiosity. He wasn't afraid to ask, "What if I could make my money grow?" Your beliefs about money shape your reality. If you think money is evil, you'll subconsciously avoid it. If you think it's a tool for freedom, you'll attract it. Wealth begins with mindset, not math. Lesson 8. The importance of taking action. Knowledge without action is useless. Rich Dad told Robert that most people know what to do. They just never do it. They say, "I'll invest when I have more money," or "I'll start a business when I have more time." But those excuses keep them stuck forever. Rich Dad believed wealth begins the moment you take action, even small action. Read about money, start saving, invest in something that grows, learn the rules of the financial game, and keep playing, even when you lose a few rounds. Because the truth is, you don't need to be born rich to become rich. You just need to think differently, act differently, and persist longer than those who quit. At the core of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a simple but profound choice. Which father will you listen to? The Poor Dad says, "Be safe, get a job, and don't take risks." The Rich Dad says, "Be bold, learn the rules, and let money work for you." Every person lives with both voices in their head, one rooted in fear, the other in freedom. The question is, which one are you going to obey? Life is the chessboard. Most people move like pawns, predictable, cautious, and afraid. But those who master the game, the thinkers, the risk takers, the investors, move like the queen. They don't wait for permission to act. They understand that the only real security in life is the freedom you create for yourself. Robert Kiyosaki's message is clear. Financial freedom isn't a dream. It's a discipline. It's built one mindset, one decision, and one investment at a time. So remember this: money isn't the goal. Freedom is. Stop chasing the paycheck. Start building assets. Stop working for money. Make money work for you. Because in the end, wealth isn't just about how much you have. It's about how much control you have over your time, your choices, and your future. If you found value in this breakdown of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more deep dive lessons from powerful books that transform how you think, live, and grow. Your journey to financial freedom doesn't start when you earn more. It starts when you think differently. And that shift in mindset begins today. If this summary opened your eyes or sparked something inside you, imagine what the full book could do. Rich Dad. Poor Dad isn't just a read. It's an experience that completely rewires how you see money, success, and freedom. So don't just stop here. Take the next step. Dive deeper. I guarantee this book will challenge the way you think about work, wealth, and life itself. Click the link in the description and grab your copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad today. It's one of those rare books that doesn't just teach you, it transforms you. Because once your mind expands to new ideas, it never goes back to its old limits.